You will recall the Judicial Officers Association of South Africa criticizing the Independent Remuneration Commission of the public office bearers for having failed to increase their salaries. Now, the group's Neelan Karikan calling the closing of the pay gap between magistrates and the judges ahead of a looming strike. Now, the Deputy Justice Minister, John Jeffrey, promising, this was last week on this show, that magistrates must, there is a review that is underway relating to the matter of salaries. Let's just take a listen quickly before we get into the next conversation.
There is a review of the salaries of magistrates and judges. It's being done by the Independent Remuneration Commission. They've just completed it, although it's not been released, but I understand that the Lower Court Remuneration Committee, which is a committee that the Chief Justice had established, has had sight of the report, and both the President of Jawasa and the President of Adamsa, I understand, are part of that Lower Court Remuneration Committee. So it is happening.
All right, let's get reaction now. And we are joined by the Independent Remuneration Commission. The Deputy Chairperson is Phineas Tjie. Mr. Tjie, good evening to you, and thank you for your time. Firstly, let's confirm what the Deputy Justice Minister told us on this show last week. Is there a review of the salary structure of magistrates?
Good evening. Yes, indeed, there is a review underway, major review of remuneration of all public office bearers, including magistrates, yes.
Why has it taken so long, though, for magistrates to have their salaries increased as they had been demanding?
Well, I'm not so sure of what they mean, because the review is undertaken every 5 years, but every year there is what we call cost of adjustment, cost of living adjustment, which gets recommended to the president. We, as the commission, don't approve any salary increases or any salary adjustment. Our job is to make to assess, review, and make a recommendation to the president.
And so the ultimate authority is the president, who then either rubber stamps what you would have recommended? Is that what you are saying to us?
That's what I am saying. But for the magistrates to say their salaries have not been increased is not appropriate. What has not been done is the review as it is currently done. I tend to agree with them.
So you're saying that reviews, salary reviews, are done after every 5 years, if I'm hearing you correctly?
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. But because of the COVID pandemic, the review couldn't be completed between 2019 and 2022. So it couldn't be completed because of the disruption of the COVID pandemic. That's why it has taken a little bit longer than what it was supposed to be, yes.
Am I correct, though, to hear from you that, yes, a review is done after every 5 years, however, every year there would be a salary increase, or am I incorrect in that regard?
Yeah, that's what we would call the inflation adjustment, if you want to call it that way. Yeah, it's referred to as a cost of living adjustment. That is done every year. But in this instance, because of the COVID pandemic, there is a backlog of last year and this year, which we have also, together with the review, concluded, and it will be presented to the president on the 15th of this month.
Yes. Okay. Then the final question I have for you, what the magistrates are or seem to complain most about is the parity between salaries of magistrates versus their fellow colleagues but who are judges in high courts. Why is there such a disparity?
Well, can I firstly point out that the judges are governed by a different legislation from that of the magistrates. That is the first point. And in our review, in our analysis during the review, we went to the open market and checked to see where the salaries of magistrates are in terms of the market average, and what where salaries of the judges are in terms of the market average.
Yes.
What we found out was that the judges, as we are currently speaking, are paid below the market average, while the magistrates at their current salaries are paid above the market average. So we do acknowledge that there is a gap, but in our review, we are trying to close that gap, but it's not going to be a once-off closure. It's going to take time. I think it will take two reviews in my estimation, two coming reviews, excluding this one, in my estimation, that the gap will be closed. But remember, there will be a gap because judges are judges and magistrates are magistrates. So that gap will remain. It will not like they are going to earn the same salaries somewhere in the future.
All right. I think it has been explained. Thank you very much for your time, Deputy Chairperson of the Independent Remuneration Commission for Public Office Bearers. That is Mr. Phineas Tjie.